People often imagine that OCD checking is one dramatic moment. You shut the front door and you check it again and again and again. But for most of us, it's quieter than that. And it's very woven into our everyday life. So today, I'm going to walk you through a normal day with OCD checking. Not the extreme version, not the stereotypes, just what it actually feels like day to day, hour to hour, living in this loop. And if any part of this sounds familiar, you're not alone. I'm Brian, and welcome back to the OCD Loop, where we talk honestly about OCD checking, intrusive doubt, recovery, and learning to live with uncertainty without the shame or fear. If you've ever wondered why OCD turns up in the most ordinary moment, then this video is for you. OCD, first thing in the morning, starts with, did I turn that alarm off properly? Checking taps, checking switches. Did I turn the water off after I'd had a wash? Did I turn the switch off for the toaster? Because if I didn't, the flat might burn down. And then you just get that thing in your head of, just check it once more, just to be sure. And none of this is because you forgot, it's because the OCD won't let your logic kick in. And you're feeling rushed, but you're technically on time. And the problem is as well, is your early fatigue is already managing your doubt. You're still not fully awake yet normally. And then there's the big one for a lot of people, leaving the house. This can sometimes mix in with the actual getting up first thing in the morning. You go out the front door, you lock it. Then you've got the doubt of locking the door. Did I lock the door? And then sometimes when you're doing that, you think, did I turn that tap off? So you go back in again, check it. And then when you finally get to the point where you come out the house and lock the door because you're certain you've done anything in the house to a point where you've just got to go, then the locking the door starts. I have actually damaged some of the locks in the places I've owned. When I lived in a flat, when I first got married, I would leave the flat after I checked everything about, oh goodness knows how many times, and my anxiety was quite high. Because I turned the key so many times to make sure the other lock was on, I actually bent the front door key. It took a while, but I bent it. It's not nice, and the anxiety, you just go back and check it again. And even when you go to go outside, you're not always 100% sure. And of course, when you've done that, in this house where I am now, it's the pushing the door to make sure it doesn't fall open and pushing the handle. I can be there for a long time checking that. I'll say that I could be there for a long time checking that. Since I've been doing the ERP, it has got better. But the more you do it, the more the checking you do, the more you doubt. And the anxiety just goes through the roof. It's horrible. You do the walking away momentarily. My walking away when I used to do it was I used to normally get as far as opening the car door, and then I'd go back and check again. And I would do that a few times. And before I started the therapy, when I was at a big height of it, it used to be down to the fact of my wife going, you've already locked the door, it's fine. And that would help a bit at that short time, because that doesn't last for long. And of course, all the time you're doing this, you have the internal battle of, did you lock the door? And your logic brain going, yes, you did. And the OCD going, are you sure? You better go double check it. And the other one going, no, you don't need to. And of course, by the time that you've done all this, you're already exhausted, even before you leave. When you're out and about, doing whatever you're doing, walking the dog or just going for a walk to the shops or something like that, or driving somewhere, the OCD is hiding in plain sight. If I'm walking the dog, I would be scanning the pathway continuously, making sure that she hadn't done a poo secretly, walking backwards and forwards, checking that out, and I'll be doing that a lot, all the way up. I would also be checking bins to make sure I put the poo bags in there properly. I'd go back and check that a few times, and by the time I got home, I don't know who was more tired, me or the dog. At work, I would be checking areas constantly to make sure I hadn't left behind. Because I do cleaning, I would be checking that I hadn't left the toilet cleaner behind doors next to the toilets, but my brain was telling me to check it in case a child picked it up and drank the liquid or something. And when I was driving, I would always be double checking that there was no police car there, that I hadn't been caught speeding. I wasn't speeding, or if I did see a police car, just constantly trying to look at the speedo. Red lights, be constantly making sure I hadn't jumped those. I hadn't. And also looking in the rearview mirror on pedestrian crossings to make sure I hadn't run someone over. At the end of the day, I would have known because I would have heard it. too, I would have seen them, but my brain didn't like that. And some journeys would take longer because I would go back and double check. It just wasn't nice. And I still do it sometimes. The OCD makes you feel responsible and as if something may be your fault. So you're constantly checking for things to be done or see if they've been done, even though it's not your responsibility. And the checking doesn't feel optional, it just feels urgent. And it's brief relief after you've checked it, followed by guilt or frustration, so you can't win. The thing about OCD is it's the mental side of things that people don't see. It's the constant background noise of doubt. It's the mental checking, replaying memories, analysing decisions. It's questioning your own memory and perception. Being embarrassed by fears that you know are irrational and don't make sense. And a big one, hiding rituals so people don't see you doing it. And of course, the exhaustion of appearing like you're fine even though you're on high alert. One of the other worst times for OCD as well is in the evenings, especially when you're preparing to go to bed. It's checking the taps, checking switches off or off, checking the stove is off, checking doors. It's the thoughts that jump into your head of, did I shut that off? Oh, well, I did that earlier today. Did I do it properly? Did I send that message properly? What's going to happen while I'm asleep? You want to sleep, but your brain's going crazy. So if you don't remember doing something, you're up out of bed, checking it again. And then something else jumps in there. And you're up again. And you go back to bed. And unfortunately, that's the loop. It's the pressure of ending the day perfectly. So you go to bed mentally exhausted, not physically relaxed. And the pattern behind the day is the intrusive doubt, the high anxieties, the constant checking, the brief relief, and then it comes back stronger. And it can be the realisation that it's not the dog, the stove, the door, what else you've been checking. It's that your brain cannot handle the uncertainty, and that the OCD is convincing you that checking equals safety. Please be reassured that certainty does not mean a perfect day. It means pausing for a moment before checking. And when you get the intrusive doubts, don't respond straight away. Allow those thoughts in without checking immediately, and learning that the anxiety does rise, yeah, but it will fall on its own eventually. And those small wins matter. One less check, one shorter pause, and one moment of choosing anxiety. It all helps in the long run. Progress is not a straight line, it's uneven, and that's normal. If this day sounded at all familiar to you, please know this. You are not weak, you are not broken, and you are not careless. OCD checking is exhausting because your brain is trying to protect you, just in a way that no longer works. And with the right tools and compassion, you can weaken that loop. If you found this video at all helpful, please hit the like button as it helps others find this channel. And if you would like to see more calm, honest videos about OCD checking, intrusive doubt, and recovery, please hit the subscribe button. And if you feel up to it, please leave a message in the comments below about what's your worst part of checking of the day. Until then, I will say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And if you want to check out any of my other videos, then please feel free to click here. Cheers guys, thank you again, bye.